Good day, everyone. Welcome back to Science 9. This video is an introduction to Mendelian inheritance. It serves as a review for your lesson in non-Mendelian inheritance. How can we study inheritance? When spending time with your family, friends, and neighbors, you may have noticed that many traits run in families. For instance, this picture, the brother and the sister below, members of a family may share similar facial features, like hair color, or a predisposition to health problems, such as diabetes. Characteristics that run in families often have genetic basis, meaning that they depend on genetic information a person inherits from his or her parents. What if you wanted to figure out how genetic information is transmitted between generations? For instance, you might be curious why one child in a family may suffer from a genetic disease while another does not. How could you go asking these kinds of questions scientifically? An obvious first idea would be to study human inheritance patterns directly, but that's not how simple it is. Studying inheritance started long time ago. Johann Gregor Mendel, often called the father of genetics, was a teacher, lifelong learner, scientist, and a man of faith. It would be fair to say that Mendel had a lot of grit. He persevered through difficult circumstances to make some of the most important discoveries in biology. As a young man, Mendel had difficulty paying for his education due to his family's limited means, and he also suffered bouts of physical illness and depression. Still, he persevered to graduate from high school and later university. After finishing university, he joined the Augustinian Abbey of St. Thomas in Brno, in what is now called the Czech Republic. At the time, the monastery was the cultural and intellectual hub of the region, and Mendel was immediately exposed to new teachings and ideas. Supported by the monastery, he taught physics, botany, and natural science courses at the secondary and university levels. Mendel studied the inheritance of 7 different features in pea plants, which includes the height, flower color, seed shape, and others. Characteristics such as a flower color, plant height, and seed shapes were controlled by pairs of heritable factors that came in different versions. To do this, he first established the P lines with 2 different forms of a feature. Example, we have tall versus the short height. So in terms of height, you can see here the parents' generation, we have tall crossed with short. And then the F1 generation, they were all tall. So according to Mendel, the visible form or trait, yung nakikita dito sa first generation, it's called the dominant trait. The one which is hidden, yung hindi pinakita, which is the short height, it's called the recessive trait. After the first generation of offspring, he let the plants undergo self-fertilization, and you have now the result of the F2 generation, wherein based from these 4, 3 were tall, 1 was short, 75% tall, 25% short. So he found out that one trait can mask the presence of another trait. Like a tall, which is dominant trait, can mask or can hide the trait which is short. Mendel's work was so significant because not only that he studied this one trait of pea plants, he studied all those 7, and he found out that they're all of the same. They follow similar patterns of inheritance. That's why this was called Mendel's inheritance. Mendel's work was not recognized for his extraordinary scientific contributions during his lifetime. In fact, it was not until 1900s that his work was rediscovered, reproduced, and revitalized. Its rediscoverers were biologists on the brink of discovering the chromosomal basis of heredity, that is about to realize that Mendel's heritable factors were carried on chromosomes. We are thankful of his contribution. This was the basis for learning inheritance. And after that, more and more knowledge, more and more heredity knowledge were added. Now your lesson is about non-Mendelian inheritance. But before we can proceed to non-Mendelian inheritance, let us review the key terms used in Mendel's inheritance. Like genetics. What is genetics? The study of biological inheritance. Kung paano namamana ang isang katangian. Trait, it's a specific characteristic of an individual. Example, skin color, color of the eyes, height, and so on. Gene is a unit of heredity that is passed from parents to offspring. Another term is allele, or plural is alleles. Alleles is a different flavor or another form of gene. It's a representation of a gene. In the example, we use alphabet. Let's say for eye color, for the trait eye color, we use an allele big B or capital B for brown eye color, or small b for blue eye color. Another is the dominant. I already mentioned this. Dominant allele is the trait expressed, and usually it is written in capital letter. Let's say for eye color, brown eye color is dominant over blue eye color. Therefore, if it is dominant, it is written in capital letter. Another is recessive allele. Pag sinabing recessive, yan yung tinatago or hindi na-express. Kung meron si dominant allele, tinatago niya si recessive allele. So, recessive allele is written in small letter. Since blue eye color is recessive, it is written as small b. Another is homozygous trait. In this case, we have the homozygous dominant. Homo, from the word itself, homo means the same or uniform or identical. So, homozygous is having two identical alleles. Since it is dominant, they are written in capital letters. So, we have here big B, big B. Another is heterozygous. Hetero means not the same. So, it's a combination of a dominant and recessive. So we have here big B, small b. And then a homozygous recessive, same kasi homozygous, recessive siya. Recessive is written in small letter, so you have small b, small b. This big B, heterozygous, big B, small b, homozygous, small b, they are called genotypes. When we say genotypes, they are the genetic makeup of an organism. It consists of two alleles. Now, in a form of words describing them, their physical characteristic, for big B, the phenotype is brown. For big B, small b, phenotype is still brown because brown is dominant over blue. And then the genotype small b, its phenotype is blue. It's a recessive. Can you follow? I hope that from here we can have one example. Before we proceed to the example, let me just introduce to you Reginald Punnett, the British geneticist who made or invented the so-called Punnett square, which is a very useful method in finding the offspring of whatever traits you are crossing with. Example, a male homozygous dog with blue eyes mates with a female heterozygous dog. Find the F1 or the first generation of children, the genotypic ratio, and the phenotypic ratio. So that the trait we are talking here is about the eye color in dogs. The male is homozygous and the female is heterozygous. Anyway, the first thing to do is to assign the allele. So just like the example given a while ago, we can use uh, small b for blue eyes, big B for brown eyes. Why? Because brown is dominant over blue eyes. So in terms of genotypes, we can assign small b, its phenotype will be blue, big B for brown, big B, small b for brown, still brown. So as you can see here in the Punnett square, the male, we have here small b, homozygous siya. So small b, blue eyes. And then the female has brown eyes. It's heterozygous. Kaya ang gagamitin natin is big B and then small b. From there, we will just cross. So small b cross with big B, the result will be big B, small b. Small b cross with small b, the result will be small b, small b. Next, small b cross with big B, the result will be big B, small b. And then big B cross with small b, the result will be small b, small b. So, big B, small b, big B, small b, small b, small b, small b, small b. These are now the F1 or the first generation of children. Now to find their genotypic ratio. So when we say genotypic or genotypes, we're talking about the pair alleles. The result will be there are 2/4 offspring that will have genotypes of big B, small b. Another 2/4 offspring will have genotypes of small b, small b. So the genotypic ratio is 2 big B, small b is to 2 small b, small b. Or you can say 50% big B, small b is to 50% small b, small b. Now, how about its phenotypic ratio? So again, remember when we say phenotypes, we are referring to its appearance in words. So, ano ang description ng big B, small b? Brown pa rin siya kasi may capital siyang isa, so it is dominant, brown. And then how about for small b, blue. So, its phenotypic ratio will be 2/4 brown is to 2/4 blue, or 50% brown is to 50% blue. From here, I hope that you remember the terms so that it would be easier for you to uh, learn non-Mendelian inheritance. We'll stop here. See you in the next video.